People come to South London's Borough Market looking for quality, not bargains. Here you can find delicacies from all over Europe. Dominic Coit loves the variety. His Gouda comes from Holland. Cooperatives in France supply him with Comté and Morbier. And in summer, there's feta from the Greek island of Lesbos. Not a day goes by when the cheesemonger doesn't sample some of his wares himself, like his beloved French Comté.
It's smooth, sweet, whereas most of the British cheeses are crumbly and sort of bright and sharp.
But Brexit poses a big threat to his little cheese shop.
A massive worry. And it has been worry since the referendum. Already we were on our third stockpiling plan to make sure we got enough stock at the prices that we're currently paying, and we don't have to incur any higher prices that might be introduced by higher tariffs.
Coit takes us to his storage cellar. He fears food products from the EU will be slapped with higher duties. His already pricey cheeses could then cost up to 20% more. And who'd be willing to pay that much? And that's if the cheese even makes it to London, as more stringent border controls could leave his wares stuck in transit for days.
I imagine that it's going to be the transport logistics is going to be that much more complicated. It's going to be expensive because there's going to be extra paperwork involved, and I can only imagine it's not going to be as free-flowing as it is currently.
Borough Market has been supplying hungry Londoners for close to 300 years. Still, a no-deal Brexit could change what's offered here. Food experts warn that supplies of fresh produce could become scarce if trucks get held up at the borders. Some 80% of the fruit sold here is imported. Yet this scenario doesn't shock all Britons.
We can manage, we've done it before.
We don't have to eat snow, you're all right.
What will you eat then?
Carrots.
We'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yet even many of the carrots are imported. If London fails to reach a deal with Brussels, the US could fill some of the gaps. Food prices might even fall. But what about the quality? US environmental and health standards are lower than those in the EU and the UK, especially where meat is concerned. Merchants fear that British products could then no longer compete with US imports.
I think the real worry is that if we get these influx of much cheaper food being imported, that actually supermarkets will opt to stock those, chain restaurants may opt to stock those, and so our traders here who will only supply the best food at a fair price means that the disparity between what consumers are offered is going to be much wider than it already is.
The continuing uncertainty about life after Brexit provides fodder for conversation. Dominic Coit talks things over with Max Tucker, a fishmonger.
I believe England will always be okay. Always. Call me old-fashioned, this, that and the other. We won world wars and shit like that, but it's tiny little island, there is other countries that deal with us other than Europe.
Coit is preparing for a hard Brexit in his own way, for a time when his stockpile of affordable, imported cheese runs out, so he can stay in business.
I've got a friend who makes cheddar, and we've talked about maybe selling that. So, and the reason for us to look into that sort of the more local indigenous cheeses is because of the exchange rate and the security of supply and all this sort of stuff.
Merchants at London's Borough Market are still holding out hope that Britain will reach a trade deal with the EU before the end of the year, so they can continue to offer their customers food products from all over Europe.